Be sure to share, like, subscribe, and comment down below. And make sure you turn on notifications by clicking on that bell icon. Democrat Eric Swalwell calls for gun ban, prison for those that choose to hold out.
Congressman Eric Swalwell, a Democrat from the San Francisco Bay Area, has a solution for gun violence. He's writing this in an op-ed. He says, quote, "We should ban possession of military-style semi-automatic assault weapons. We should buy back such weapons from all those who choose to abide by the law. And we should criminally prosecute any who choose to defy it by keeping their weapons. The ban would not apply to law enforcement agencies or shooting clubs." All right, we're joined now by Emily Miller, author of Emily Gets Her Gun. She's a political strategist and an expert on gun control policies and crime. She's in Dallas at the NRA convention where President Trump is scheduled to address the event tomorrow. Emily, great to have you with us. What do you make of that plan? Because it sounds a lot like confiscation.
It is exactly confiscation. And I hope that Congressman goes personally to check everybody's house in America to see if they have an AR-15. That'll go over real well.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Yeah. I mean, obviously, it's ridiculous. Like, you can't. We don't have a national registry. This is not Hitler. This is not Cuba. We don't have a national registry. We don't know who owns these guns. And I can promise you, as a gun owner, and coming here from here speaking at the NRA to tens of thousands of other proud gun owners and supporters of the Second Amendment, they are not going to turn in their AR-15s.
Okay, so let me talk to you about...
It's a really important point. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, I want to talk to you about some polling that we have because we saw a real spike in those who thought we need tougher gun control laws in this country. Of course, after the Parkland event, it was tragic. There were young people who were lost. Now, there are young people who are out there advocating. They've gotten a lot of attention. That has dropped off some, like it always does after the events, and a little time goes by. But still, 56% of people say they do support tougher gun laws. 39% say they'd oppose them. What do you make of those numbers? Those are the newest.
Well, obviously, these rare mass shootings, like what happened at Parkland and what happened at Sandy Hook years ago as well, what happened at Sutherland Springs Church here in Texas, they're rare. It's generally, on average, and this is government figures, look this up, Congressional Research Service, less than 50 people a year on average. The last year has been bad. It's been horrific. We've had Las Vegas, we've had Parkland, we've had these really terrible tragedies. They were lone wolves. They're not terrorists. This is not inner city crime. You know, of the 10 or 11,000 people a year killed by guns, homicide by guns, about 300 total are by rifles. So the issue really on gun violence is inner city gun violence and handguns.
And
but that's not what you're hearing from the left.
Why don't you think that gets talked about more? Do you think the president will address that tomorrow?
I don't know if he's going to get into the details. You know, he's a big picture kind of guy of gun crime and that kind of stuff. But it doesn't get talked about because the left gets energized. And you heard Chris talk about this a minute ago. The left is energized by the idea of getting all our guns. They love the idea. They talk about, bring up gun violence, you will hear Australia, to the point where I had to mute the word Australia on my Twitter feed because I couldn't stand to listen to it anymore. We are not going to confiscate all the guns in America. It's never going to happen. Yeah. So we have the Second Amendment. We have a Second Amendment in the Constitution that says we have the individual right from God to defend ourselves, which the Supreme Court has interpreted, which you know better than I do, Shannon, Supreme Court decisions in Heller, who I saw tonight here in Dallas, Dick Heller, that the individual has the right to own a gun and to keep it at home.
Yeah, well, interesting.
So that congressman's idea is going nowhere.
Well, and part of what he had to say is that they've been too nice when it comes to the Second Amendment, and it's time for him and other Democrats and folks who believe it is time to control guns more to stop being so nice about the Second Amendment. We'll see that. We know that's not happening where you are, Emily, in Dallas at the NRA convention. We'll watch to see what the president has to say. Thanks for the preview.
Thanks for having me.
Be sure to share, like, subscribe, and comment down below and tell me how you feel about this report. But other than that, I hope you guys have a great day. Let's make America great again. Peace.